some stuff has been happening with me. I have not been motivated. I have not been on my game. I have not been doing anything I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm getting back on track, and I'm going to help you get back on track. So if you think this is going to be helpful for you, stick around. A change is come over me, yeah. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Karen Marie, and this is Karen Marie Beyond the Melody. I'm a singer, songwriter, and producer, and my goal here is to help women strengthen their relationship with God through the art of music. So if you're interested in that, please hit the thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything that we're doing here. Okay, so here's the thing. I started out at a goal of doing videos every other Friday, but I realized there was somewhere that I wanted to get with this YouTube channel. So I was gonna have to do a little bit more than every other Friday if I wanted to be in this game, if I wanted to be a part of what's going on here on YouTube, and if I wanted to really make something out of this, I needed to do a little bit more than every other Friday. So I said every Friday. As I'm doing videos, like, I can kind of get stuck in research mode sometimes. And as I'm stuck in research mode, I'm seeing creators on YouTube and they've got like 350, 400,000 followers, you know, or subscribers. And they come on YouTube one day and they're just like, I'm quitting. I'm leaving YouTube. I'm hanging it up. And in the back of my mind, as they're saying this, I am admittedly kind of getting a little judgy, which you should never do because you don't know what a person is going through. You do not know what people's circumstances are. But I'm getting a little judgy because I'm saying, you are somewhere that all of us are trying to get. We follow you, we're inspired by you, and we look at your videos every week, and you coming on here now and saying you quit. I'm offended that you're quitting because you're at the pinnacle of this. You have what everybody else wants. Well, maybe we should stop to think that the grass is not greener on the other side, that it's not as beautiful or as grand as we think that it might be for that person. And they have their reasons for why they're either lacking motivation or they just need to take time away. They need to take a sabbatical. There is nothing wrong with that. So over the last month, some of those things started happening to me. I got into this lack of motivation that I could not figure out. Like, I was stuck in a rut and I didn't understand why I was stuck in that rut. But I started praying about it. And, you know, and when I say praying, I don't mean like I'm getting, you know, I'm pushing my plate back and just on my knees 24/7. No. Sometimes when circumstances are happening in your life, and there really may not even be anything going on, you just don't know what it is that's happening with you. You just don't feel the push that you need to feel that you've gotten from yourself. It's not there anymore, and you can't figure out why. So as I'm praying, and when I say praying in this instance over the last 4 or 5 weeks, it's kind of like, okay, God, I hear you. I see you, but I'm gonna need your help. You know, those are the kind of prayers. It's like, God, I don't understand what's happening. What's going on? Like, why can't I get here? Why is this like this? Those are the kind of prayers that I'm praying as I'm walking around or as I'm getting up in the morning. Or it might just even be something in my heart as I'm sitting somewhere on the couch or sitting on the floor or sitting at my desk at work, things that I can't even really utter. Like, I can't say it out of my mouth because sometimes you just get to a point of exhaustion and a point of burnout to where you just really, you don't have words. He hears that. He hears it. Those sighs, like when you just sometimes go, he hears that and he understands what that means. So I want to walk you through what's been happening and how I'm getting myself back together. The last real video that I did was around maybe July the 13th, and this was where I started a series of Bible studies that would be for the worship leader or the musician or anybody who's in music, because I wanted to do this because I feel like we get so bogged down in the work of being musicians, especially in the church or wherever else, that we don't put in time with God other than on Sundays when we're listening to the preacher, when we're tuning our guitars or, you know, or whatever. We're not really paying attention. We're paying attention, but we're not really paying attention. So I wanted to start something for those of us who are in that field to strengthen our relationship with God. That was a series that was supposed to take place every Friday. Well, I got off track. We went on vacation. We went to Texas. It was our wedding anniversary. And I got out there and I was like, well, I would have some downtime, so I could record a bunch of videos, especially when my husband was, because my husband was down there for some business. And so I was like, when he was doing business, I could, just spend some time cranking out videos. Well, I got down there and I got completely lazy. I was on vacation, so I didn't feel like doing it. So I didn't. And that was the beginning of me just falling into this hole of just feeling burnt out and just not wanting to have to be somewhere to do something, not wanting to have to show up. And so from that point, like, my motivation just kept ticking down and down and down and down and further down until I just found myself in this black hole that I'm trying to pull myself out of. And while you're in a black hole like that, you start thinking of all the hindrances, all the things that are keeping you from being able to do what you want to do. Like me, I am a perfectionist when it comes to editing. And let me tell y'all something. Editing is a thief of motivation. Repeat this. Editing is a thief of motivation. Stop trying to do it. There are so many people who are so successful on YouTube where they don't edit at all. And sometimes, as a person who does edit videos, I look at some people's stuff and I'm like, this person, she is blowing up on YouTube. She don't do no editing at all. As a matter of fact, like some of her videos are quite, from an editor's perspective, a little bit annoying because she's not putting anything into it. But those are videos that people are enjoying watching. So don't get lost in editing. As it relates to music, you can feel like you need a whole bunch of stuff when really all you need to do is put your camera on, pick your instrument up, start playing, and just start singing. And that is something that I have not done because I feel like stuff needs to be a certain way. But let me tell y'all something about music. Gone are the days when you're gonna find somebody who just believes in you to the point that they want to invest everything that they have in you and to make something out of you. Those days are over with. Maybe you have somebody who loves you and they want to see you succeed, but they just don't have the capacity to help you. So in this case, what are you gonna do? Are you just never going to get to where you want to be because you don't have help from other people? Or are you going to figure out how to do it? As it relates to motivation, all of those thoughts of needing things to be a certain way, or not knowing how to do things, or not having that support system to help you, can steal your motivation. And it'll stop you from ever being able to do anything. You'll never write a song. You'll never learn how to play an instrument because you don't have a specific teacher. You don't have somebody who you're going to their house or to their studio every week to learn how to play. Y'all, everything is on YouTube now. You do not need to go to somebody's house to learn how to play. You can learn how to play on YouTube if you really want to. And those are the things that I have to tell myself when I'm not motivated, or when I find myself in the black hole of lack of motivation or burnout because I'm just hustling and bustling trying to figure it out. It really is so simple. It does not have to be complicated. But the whole time that I'm feeling this way, I can hear and I can feel God saying to me, it's okay. I understand where you are. I know you're burnt out. I know that, this is tough for you. I know about your circumstances. I allowed them to happen. But let me allow you to find the workaround. I put everything in you that you need to have to get this done and to be everything that I've created you to be. I already put it inside of you. I didn't put it in another person, because if I put it in another person, then what happens when that other person is not available to you? See? So it's not about other people. You got to get over that lack of support. As a matter of fact, I did a video a couple of years ago talking about why women give up on their dreams, and I gave 5 good reasons that women just stop dreaming and they stop pursuing them. I'll put that video here so you can see it. I want to give you a couple of examples from the Bible of people who experienced a lack of motivation or burnout and the circumstances around what was happening with them. So one of my favorite examples is Moses. So in Numbers chapter 11, around verses 10 through 17, Moses was experiencing a whole lot of pressure. So he was dealing with a lot of people, the Israelites, who were complaining, and he was always having to deal with their problems, and he was just exhausted, and he was tired, and he was burnt out. And he finally ended up saying to God, "Why have you brought this trouble on me? What have I done so bad that you want me to experience all of this foolishness? Like, it's enough of this already. I don't want to deal with it anymore." And as a matter of fact, he's like, "This how it's going to be. Like, just go ahead on and kill me." You know the saying, kill me now? He was literally like, kill me now. God is so merciful. And because he gives us so much grace, he tells Moses what to do. He's like, "Listen, you're doing too much. You're doing all of it on your own. Get 70 elders and start delegating. But I see a problem with you or with me where you might not have the ability to delegate things." That's why I said, stop worrying about, if you're starting a YouTube channel, stop worrying about editing. And stop comparing what you do to all these other people who are doing big, huge things on YouTube, because they either know how to do these things that you don't know how to do. They've been able to hire an editor who can do all their editing. All they do is shoot their videos and send the videos to the editor to do for them. Maybe you can't afford that right now. So just forget editing, other than just doing quick cuts of stuff that's mistakes and little things like that, and then just upload the video. And as far as music is concerned, maybe you can't delegate. Maybe you're not a producer. Maybe you're not a songwriter, or vice versa. Maybe you're one and not the other. There's 100,000 ways that you can do music nowadays. You can go and buy tracks for little or nothing, and you can write to those tracks. You don't have to have a producer nowadays. Times are really different musically than what they used to be. If you haven't started, just start. And if you've started and stopped, I need you to get back up. I need you to get back up and get to work. And this is what I want you to do. I want you guys comment below and tell me what it is that you've started and you've stopped. What has been the root cause behind your lack of motivation? And if you haven't started, tell me why you haven't started in the comments. Let's start a conversation, and let's help each other, and let's pray for each other, and let's lift each other up so that we can do these assignments and be everything that God has called us to be. And that doesn't mean that you're not ever going to go through this again, but there's a way for you to allow your channel or your music to keep going as you take a sabbatical and spend time with God. Y'all, even Jesus did it. Jesus had to take time away from people so that he could be by himself. He wasn't like ministering 24/7. He took time to get away from all the noise. And just think about, he knew that he was going to his death. He knew he was going to have to die. So there was a certain amount of anxiety that he dealt with all day, every day. Literally, he came here and had a full human experience. The scripture tells us that we don't have a high priest who cannot empathize with what we're going through, because in all points he was tempted just as we are, yet he was without sin. So that means everything that we've had to go through and everything we've had to resist, all the things that we've had to overcome to get to the mission that God has called us to, Jesus dealt with the same things that we deal with. And he overcame those things. So I hope this video has been inspirational for you and helpful. If so, please let me know. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who you know may be going through this. And if you're going through this, I just pray that God gives you strength, and that you find the peace and joy again in what it is that you know you've been called to do, and that you get back to it as soon as possible. Well, that's all I have for today, you guys. I love you. I will see you next time.